I've been hearing so many good things about these Batman figures from this new brand called Fondjoy. Are they worth all the hype or are they not at all? Let's open them up, check it out, and of course do some toy photography. I just actually encountered a pretty unfortunate problem. So, I don't know about you, but I've been hearing nothing but great things about this new brand, at least new to me, called Fondjoy. Have you ever heard of Fondjoy before? Well, they sure seem to be fond of experiencing joy. Well, I do too, so we've already got so much in common. Anyway, Fondjoy has been putting out a lot of stuff, but it seems to be mostly focused on DC stuff, mostly Batman, which is great. But there's been one thing about these that have been making me quite reluctant to checking them out, and that's because they are 1/9 scale. I don't think I own anything in 1/9 scale. I mean, I'm mostly a 1/12 scale collector. I've got a few bigger ones, like I don't know what are McFarlane figures, like 1/11 scale. I don't know, they're a little bit bigger. You know, I've got a couple of like Play Arts Kai figures that are, I don't know what the heck those even are, 1/8? I don't know. And then of course I've got some Hot Toys, those are 1/6 scale, so I don't have anything 1/9 scale, so this just seems totally different than anything I collect already. But I kept hearing great things about them, and here we are. I've got two Fondjoy Batman figures. I've got the Batman, Battinson, Robert Pattinson's Batman, which is fantastic. And we've got my favorite Batman from my favorite movie, really, ever, Batfleck from Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. And to be honest, I'm pretty excited. I got two Batmans, like, this is a good day. I'm opening up two Batman figures. I mean, come on. So these figures seem to run around $40 to $50 a figure, which is a pretty good price, especially if they're quite as high quality as they say they are. They've got tons of stuff on the back, heads and hands and stands and stuff, so it's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. It doesn't seem to be a bad price. And so if you want to pick these guys up, I'll have the link in the description for CaucusToy.com. Caucus, thank you so much for sending these figures over to me. So you've definitely heard me talking about Caucus before on this channel. They're a fantastic website with tons of figures, mostly a lot of Godzilla and Transformers, but here's proof right here that they have a lot more of a selection of just that. They've got a ton of different things, including stuff like this, which is very, very exciting to me. The people over there are some of the nicest people ever, and I'm very, very grateful for them. So if you want to get some figures, please head over to the link I've got in the description for Caucus.com and support some great people. And you know, you've got a very reliable website, you know, that you can count on too, which is sometimes, you know, pretty hard to find nowadays. Thank you again, Caucus Toy. You guys are fantastic. Very, very excited. And by the way, it did have some shrink wrap on it already, but I did take it off. But it's very reminiscent of the ZD Toys Deadpool, if you saw that video, the Deadpool and Wolverine. The packaging's almost exactly the same. It's kind of crazy. I don't know if there's any relationship there or not, but the packaging is almost identical. It's crazy. And so they do open up, but first let's just admire these two very emo looks they've both got on the front of these packages. I mean, look at them go. Anyway, I have not opened this up yet, so I'm excited to look. Oh, very nice. I mean, there's a bunch of plastic wrap in there already, so I can't really see much, but it looks good. How's Twilight Boy doing? Really good. I can't see a whole lot, but those face sculpts look incredible. Let's just open them up. How about I stop looking from a window and actually open it up? Sounds like a good idea. So, who is your favorite Batman? I know I'm probably gonna get tons of comments already based on the fact I said Batman vs. Superman's my favorite movie, but that's okay. I get those all the time. And Batfleck's my favorite, but who's your favorite? Is Christian Bale your favorite? Or maybe are you just excited to see what James Gunn's Batman's gonna be like? Who that's gonna be? Either way, I am also excited. But I am very curious to know who your favorite Batman is and why is it Ben Affleck? Okay, these are they're not really what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting them to be quite so light. I mean that in a really good way. Like, they feel kind of like the way a Mafex would feel. This looks, oh, hello. I don't think that was supposed to happen, but there we go. But they feel like a Figuarts or a Mafex would feel, but just a little bit bigger. And there's tons of different material and stuff, and like everything looks and feels really kind of amazing. Like I'm really kind of impressed. And you know what? I think I lied before, because I think I do have one thing that is 1/9 scale. Don't fall over. This is, I think, what I was expecting. So this is a Beast Kingdom super tan black suit Superman figure. It's a little bit older. This actually came out a long time ago, before the Snyder Cut or anything came out. And this is the first like official black suit Superman, even before he was a thing, as far as, you know, the movie was concerned. And I was expecting the figures to be like this, but they're not at all. These are so much better than this. These are heavy and kind of clunky, and you can't really do a whole lot with them. I was expecting it to be like this Superman, and it's not at all, and I'm very pleasantly surprised, and so far, really impressed, and I can't wait to get into these figures. They're really cool. Okay, well, starting off with Robert Pattinson, the Batman, this is a really freaking cool figure. Like, all of the armor and stuff, oh, that comes right off, but all of the armor and stuff just looks so cool. It really looks like individual pieces of armor on him, you know? Like, the material that his cape is made out of is like a very thin, it feels like a raincoat kind of material, which is really interesting because the Batfleck is different, totally different material. This is more of like a leathery material, even though it's still very thin. It's cool and it works. It feels more like it works better with him, and oh man, it's so light to the point where posing with the wire is so easy. You know, when you have a wire in the cape, but the cape is heavy, it becomes very difficult to pose, but the cape is so light. I'm not even really concerned about any of the movement or anything right now. I'm just so in awe with how good he looks. There's so many intricacies and stuff in the shoulders and the arms and the wrists, and it just looks, this foot keeps coming out though. I don't know what's going on with that foot. Are they both like that? Yeah, they just kind of, I mean, they pop right back in, but I guess be careful. Just as far as physical looks go and just detail, this thing is so cool. Like, I'm looking at this now and I'm like, dang, I'm so glad I have this in my collection now. Like, this is really a fantastic figure. Holy crap, like, wow. And the face sculpt is really quite awesome. Like, it's really nice. Really looks like him a lot. Not to mention too that it actually came with this other little box here. It's Fondjoy, says on there, but I don't know if it's for Battinson or Batfleck. And I just have a feeling it's for Battinson, so I'm gonna open it right now. I'm actually really curious. I have no idea what the heck this is. There's an extra head. Whose head is it? Oh no, it's an unmasked Ben Affleck. Wow, that looks really good. I guess I'll just get into that when I open up Ben later on. Wow, that looks great. Ben looks just as good, and his suit is not really as intricate as just the design of Robert Pattinson's suit in general, so it doesn't instantly just come off as like, wow, look at all the detail. But the detail does look really good, like it looks great. And the best part about this figure is that it is so beautifully captured that bulky, thick neck of his, you know, and honestly, that's like one of my favorite parts about this suit is that really thick neck, and they absolutely captured that. Whatever happened when they changed suits from BVS to Justice League, it lost that thick neck, and so I'm happy that this very much has that BVS thick neck. So the cape is, like I said, a different material, but it's still very light. I think it in general is just a bigger cape. So you've got a whole half circle over here. It's probably gonna be a little bit more difficult to pose it up like his. Yeah, so you can't just quickly and easily get it to stand up like that because it's so much bigger, but you can still, you know, get it in at least poses like that. I really love how in some figures, like the Figuarts, they have like a third wire maybe up in here, which really helps because sometimes you really need that extra flump, you know. The neck as well as the face looks great. You know, that chin looks just like his chin. You know, the face sculpt looks really, really good. Fondjoy definitely knows what they're doing as far as face sculpts, that's for sure. As far as accessories go, they both come with a pretty decent amount of stuff, including a stand with the Batman symbol on it. That's pretty cool. And the stand itself is pretty interesting. I've never really seen a stand that looks quite like this before. And he actually comes with an entirely separate mouth. So you actually can switch the mouth out here with the one you've already got there for a little bit more of an intense face. So that's cool. Instead of doing an entirely other head, you just got the mouth. So that's cool. And it does come with another chest. So that's why the chest pops out. This chest has the Battinson Batarang not in it. So you can pop that out if you'd rather have a realistic, you know, holding a Batarang with no Batarang in the chest. And of course, here is the Batarang itself. Gotta have that, you know, if you're Batman, you gotta have Batarangs. And so he's also got this gun, which I'm pretty sure is not the grapple gun, because the grapple one comes right off of his wrist, right? I don't remember what this gun was for. Somebody remind me. It's been a little bit since I've watched the movie, but I don't remember what this one's for, but it's really cool. It looks great. It's struggling right now. Then we've got right here, which is the grappling hook gun thing, which is interesting because this makes for kind of a pretty lame accessory in my opinion, but it is, you know, accurate for what happens in the movie. So this is actually just goes right on his wrist. That's when it's not sticking out, but then once he's actually using it, it looks like this. So you can kind of hook the bottom part here to his wrist, and then at this point it'll be able to reach his hand, and that's how he uses the grappling hook. It's cool for the movie, but makes for like really lame action figure accessories, if that makes any sense. And then here we've got a really big cigarette. It looks like that. This is the flare, I think, for the end of the movie, I'm pretty sure. At first I thought maybe this was that injection stuff that he uses at the end, but no, this is a flare, pretty sure. And then we've got 4 other hands. So he's got the fist that he's got on, he's got a holding hand here, and then a couple of open hands, more relaxed open hands, and then we've got another holding hand that's more for like gun shooting type of stuff. So I noticed something about the stand. It's actually like, it's spring powered, look. So it automatically will just clamp itself on there, which is really cool. I've never seen a stand like that. I like that a lot. I want this in all stands because sometimes it's hard to like grab it on all the way, but this one, that's so cool. Wow, that is so awesome. So he does also come with the Robert Pattinson face sculpt with the makeup and stuff on, like he just took the mask off, and it looks good. I don't think it looks quite as good as that Ben Affleck one I just had open, but it looks good. It definitely looks good. So Ben has got some stuff too. Not as much, it doesn't seem like, but he's got some stuff. He's got his grappling hook gun, which I always loved this one. I loved the old like wood finish that was kind of on the handle and stuff back then. I really enjoyed how that one looked. So there's that, which looks great. He's got 2 separate Batarangs, so that's really awesome. And he's got his breather mask, which I'm pretty sure he only wore this in Suicide Squad, right? I think so. And he's got a bunch of hands as well. Some open hands, some closed hands, fists, all that, including a thumbs up. Okay, well, I just actually encountered a pretty unfortunate and pretty frustrating problem. I went to go switch the hands and the joint broke. So one half of the peg is inside of this hand and the other half is still in the wrist. And that pretty much ruins the entire figure. I mean, you know, I can't sugarcoat it any more than that. And I'm pretty pissed. If anything, I'm more disappointed because I really was liking this figure a lot. And this is a pretty bad problem. Obviously, I'm not gonna take any blame on Calcus for this. This is, I think, 100% obviously on Fondjoy and the manufacturing. So I've actually already spoken with the people from Calcus and they're sending me over replacement parts. So a huge W for Calcus, L for Fondjoy, W Calcus. That's pretty frustrating. Fondjoy, I had a lot of great stuff until then. I guess just fair warning that could happen. Moving on with the review, the Batfleck head is pretty, you know, undeniably really good looking. Like, that looks so good. I think this is way better than the Robert Pattinson one. This looks just like Ben in this movie. Like, holy crap, that's really good. Let's change this on camera so in case anything breaks. Put the collar in first. There we go. I had to turn off the camera because it was a little hard to do on camera, but it wasn't really that bad to change it all. Man, that looks pretty dang good. I'm still a little mad, but dang, that looks really good. Moving on to articulation, I was actually finding some really good things and some not so good things with articulation. And the worst part really is these ankles. It's not a problem on Ben, but on Robert, these ankles just come right off. There's just nothing really there to really hold them in. They just so easily just come right off. And every time I would try to pose something, I would just be like, near, and then ankles off. That was before I broke the other figure. I was getting frustrated. Like, I'm struggling to, look at that. It just comes right out. The ankles are not so great, but everything else actually seemed to be pretty good as far as articulation. You know, you've got a lot of movement in the arms despite all of the armor he's got going on. Can't get a full T-pose all like that, but if you turn it a little bit, you can. And you can get more than a 90-degree angle. Lots of movement in the chest and stuff, which is great. There's pinless double jointed knees, which that looks really good. One other thing that I did not like though, however, is the movement in the that actually was coming out a lot too. Sorry about the little bit of nightmare fuel for you. He doesn't have a different joint separating the head and the neck. It's all just one big piece. So as far as turning the head goes, I'm not gonna get mad. There's really not a whole lot. Oh, geez, okay. I'm getting frustrated. Keep your mouth and your head, you son of a gun. Just not a lot of head movement, barely at all. And geez, wow, that's really bad. So articulation with Ben, he's got a lot less going on as far as armor and stuff goes. You can actually move the head around. So articulation on Ben is much better. Ankles are staying on, knock on wood. He's just missing a hand though, that's the only thing. How big are these figures exactly? They are both just about 7.5, almost 8 inches or so. See ya. Okay, so comparisons with these figures I think are pretty important right now because they are so different. This is the McFarlane, the Batman figure. So I actually did a couple videos with this guy. I did a custom cape tutorial and I did a whole toy photography thing with this guy. And that was actually a lot of fun. And I think this is a pretty great figure. Obviously this one's way more good looking. Holy crap, it looks so much better. And he is a little bit taller, which makes sense. I was expecting it to be a little bit taller. So great to see the comparisons, but as far as just this, hi, hey buddy, what do you think? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. The Fondjoy one looks better. It's definitely a better figure, except for this one doesn't have ankles and faces falling out. So there's that for sure. And this one was also much cheaper. Oh, if you wanted to compare it to a McMafex kind of size, this is the Mafex Nightmare Batman. Much, much smaller than this. But seriously though, W or L with these figures. There's a lot of W's about these figures. They look incredible. They really do look so good. Face sculpts are crazy awesome. They've got great accessories. He's got the great, nice, thick neck. All of that stuff. There's so much to love about these figures. It's kind of hard to just jump right to L, because the problems are pretty bad. First of all, his hand broke with barely any effort, just switching the hand. Really bad. Like, that's bad. So that's an L right there. These ankles are horrible. I was getting so frustrated. That's really bad. Or turning the neck on Battinson is a little, not terrible, but the fact that his mouth kept falling out, that was frustrating too. A lot of L's. Dude, what are you doing right now? I can't give it a W. I'm just gonna say M. I'm gonna give an M because there's so many great things and then just some bad things. And if the hand broke, what do you think? Am I in the wrong here? Should I just jump to L or should they still be a W? I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'm very curious. Okay, well, I definitely still gotta take a photo with him. It's a shooting and reviewing video. I can't take a photo of Ben, unfortunately, because he's broke-did. But let's go set something up and take the shot. Okay, well, here I am. It's Christmas time in downtown Cohoes. Got some cool lights going on back there. And we've got Gotham going down here. A little bit of Gotham here in Cohoes. And it's raining out. I've got a bandana over there. And I've got what looks like could be a kind of cool shot right here. I'm going to be kind of quick because it's raining, literally. But I've got a couple of lights here on the side of Batman. A little bit of flour on top of him. I'm hoping to get a nice silhouette kind of Batman's back while I have all these cool lights in the background with a Christmas tree over here too. And then I'm going to drop a little bit of flour on top to hopefully make some cool looking snow and a cool kind of moody shot. Hopefully that's what happens. So this is what I've got for my settings right now. They're a little different than usual. My shutter speed's at 320 because, you know, I can't go too fast because it is dark out. It is night. But my ISO is at 800 today. I turned it up I needed to turn it up a little bit to brighten it up, because if I turned my shutter speed any faster, it'd be way too dark with the ISO only at 400. So I did crank it up a little bit, and my f-stop's at 2.5, so I can still get some nice bokeh in the background. See all that beautiful bokeh back there? Looks really good. So that's my settings for now. So all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drop a little bit of flour and then take a bunch of shots, and hopefully it comes out kind of cool. So let's just go and do that. I feel like these figures had so much potential, and there's so much about them that's really great, like legitimately great, but I think with all of the other issues, in the end, I'm pretty disappointed, actually. If I didn't like the things I loved about them so much, I wouldn't be so disappointed, but oh well, I guess I am. If you own these figures, I'm actually really curious to hear how you feel about them. Do you like these? Did you have the same problems I did? I'm very curious to hear what you think. If you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. This photo will be posted up onto Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all of that stuff as always. And if you're interested in following me on those platforms, it's all linked in the video description. And of course, thank you so much for making this video be a part of your day, and I hope to see you in the next video.